I think, if nothing else, this morning, there's a need to encourage those that are in some storms. Some people think that storms are just natural, but the truth is storms are constant. Storms happen every single day. And some people believe that storms are a sign that things are just going all the way wrong. But I want you to know this morning, to the best of my ability, that you're going in the right direction. That's what I want to talk about. You are going in the right direction. Yesterday evening, I met up with a couple friends of mine, and on my way to have dinner, I took a path to this particular place that I don't necessarily take all the time. And on the way, it was a normal drive until the car in front of me had to deal with a possum attempting to cross the street. Now, good driving tells you to make certain that you're always at a decent distance away from the car, which I was. And I'm glad I was, not because I thought I would get into an accident, but because of what I witnessed with this encounter between a small car and a possum. The possum just knew that it was going to get across the street and that it was going to beat the car while trying to get to its destination. However, the possum got caught under the car and it got clipped by some equipment under the car. Now, most of you are assuming that the next thing I'm about to say is that the possum died. Well, all the possum had was a concussion because it was still alive after the car passed over. And as that possum still looked in the middle of the street and saw my Charger with very low clearance on its way, it had to make a decision. Either it was still going to try to cross or it just needed to get out of the way. It hesitated for about a second, but then ran right back to where it came from. That possum represents for us, some of us, we try to go places that we don't need to go and try to go places that God did not direct us to, and somehow life has a way of clipping us just enough to concuss us back to where we're supposed to be. Sometimes life has to teach us the lessons we should already learn. That we are not to do things in and of ourselves. I think the book of Proverbs states it very well. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. But in all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. Sometimes we think that the things we're going through are the result of following Jesus, but we have to sometimes think about what we are doing. Was Jesus in some of the decisions that we have made in our lives? If you're honest with yourself, you'll say, absolutely not. You'll be honest with yourself and say, it was not the direction that God wanted me to go. I wanted to go, I wanted to get there, I wanted to do what I wanted to do it the way I thought best, and it did not turn out like I wanted. Don't get quiet on me because we'll shout about 15 more minutes. You see, when you know you're really going somewhere, you recognize that Jesus has his hands on the whole thing the whole time. And when you recognize that the Lord is really at work in your life, it's not that it's going to be rosy, but sometimes it has to get dark and dreary, just so you know that the light of the world is on board your ship. Yes, life is like a ship that sometimes gets tossed to and fro, having to deal with the winds and the waves of your existence and attempt to try to sink you day by day. But if the Lord is really the Lord of your life, there is no way that he will allow you to sink and to have to try to swim in the muck and the mire of life. Jesus, though, has to be on the ship. The text that we read doesn't seem like it connects, or at least some people would assume it doesn't connect. But remember, Jesus now has done ministry and everything has gone well, and now they have to make a journey across the sea just to the other side. He said, let us now that we've done what we needed to do here, now that we have addressed the needs of the people where we have been, let us now cross over to the other side. Now some people would assume that let's just go somewhere else. But apparently Jesus knew more than the rest of us, because he knew there was an assignment on the other side of the sea. There's some things in life you have already completed everything you're going to complete. You've done all that you're going to do. Everything is just everything. You keep on trying to see something else. But God is trying to tell us today that there's some places that we need to go to do the things he has called us to do. And we get nervous at times because we don't think we are equipped and prepared to make things happen. We need to know that we're going in the right direction. We need to know that it's now time to hear Jesus out and to go to the other side of what it is that we are trying to do. Y'all need to wake up in here just a little bit.
Yes, Lord.
Get focused. Amen. Kids are going to be kids, but get focused. Amen. He's trying to take you somewhere else to do something that you might not have done before. Now, when you look at the storms on the sea, think about who's on the boat. You have disciples that are on the boat.
Yes.
But some of those disciples are trained fishermen.
Right. That's right.
They have been in storms before.
Yes, sir.
They have had the chance to navigate through some stuff. They had to address the winds and the waves. They had to go through something at some time just to catch some fish.
Yes.
So this is not new territory sailing. But for some reason, this storm has caused these trained fishermen and the rest of the disciples to become so involved and scared to death that they can't handle the winds and the waves that are beginning to fill the boat.